Hello, my loves. Once upon a time, nestled between rolling hills and a whispering wood, there lived a peaceful kingdom where life flowed like the river Styx. In the heart of this kingdom stood a quaint village where happy families resided. The days were filled with laughter, the nights with peaceful slumber. Everyone lived in harmony, content with their simple lives until one fateful day when a shadow fell over the land. The source of their joy, their beloved river Styx, which had been cherished for generations, turned against them. Its waters, once a mirror reflecting the azure sky, became a murky abyss. The villagers, with hearts heavy and eyes downcast, watched as their lively river transformed into a menacing force. The very essence of the river seemed to shift, exuding an eerie silence that chilled them to the bone. The playful gurgling of water turned into an ominous quiet, broken only by the mournful cry of the wind. Fear gripped the villagers as they recounted tales of the river's wrath. Whispers carried on. The wind spoke of a curse, a malevolent entity that had taken up residence in their once life-giving stream. Legends told of a terrible price demanded by the river. It demanded a sacrifice, the most precious possession one could have, their memory. Those unfortunate enough to touch its cursed waters were said to be stripped of their past, left as empty vessels without a trace of who they once were. Days turned into weeks, and the river remained a silent, menacing presence, a constant reminder of the threat it posed. The once vibrant community grew somber, their lively gatherings replaced by hushed discussions about the river. With each passing day, the river's ominous presence loomed larger, casting a long, dark shadow over the kingdom. The carefree laughter of children was replaced by worried murmurs, and the vibrant colors of their clothing seemed to dull in the face of the encroaching darkness. The kingdom, once brimming with life and hope, now teetered on the edge of despair, held captive by the fear inspired by their enigmatic river. In the midst of this turmoil, there lived a young woman named Mira, a beacon of light in the village. Renowned throughout the kingdom as a healer, Mira's gentle touch and kind heart had brought solace to countless individuals. Her home, a modest cottage adorned with herbs and flowers, was always open to those in need, offering not just refuge, but also healing remedies. Despite her tender years, Mira's wisdom and courage knew no bounds. Her days were spent concocting herbal remedies, tending to the sick and infusing life back into withered plants. Yet even her skills were tested by the river's curse, for it had seeped into the very core of the village, causing even the healthiest to fall gravely ill. As the sickness spread, fear and despair threatened to consume the villagers. All seemed lost until Mira stepped forward, determined to save her people. Mira embarked on a perilous journey. Guided by whispers and legends, she set out to find the source of the curse, hoping to break it and restore peace to her village. Her path led her to the very heart of the kingdom, where the river Styx flowed silently, shrouded in mystery and menace. Standing at the bank, the full extent of the river's power became evident. Its surface, once so inviting, now churned ominously, reflecting the tormented sky above. The air around the river crackled with an unseen energy, sending shivers down her spine. Taking a deep breath, Mira tied her name to a locket and dropped it into the river. As the locket disappeared beneath the murky surface, she whispered, "May this hold what the river cannot take." Her voice trembled slightly, betraying the fear that gnawed at her heart. But she steeled herself, knowing that the fate of her village rested on her shoulders. With trembling hands, she reached out and touched the water. In that instant, a jolt surged through her, as though the river itself was testing her resolve. A wave of dizziness washed over her, pulling her thoughts into a swirling vortex. The river's icy touch sent a shiver down her spine, and she instinctively recoiled. But duty and love for her village spurred her on. She plunged into the water. The icy grip of the river tightened around her, threatening to pull her under. With each stroke, the water grew colder, seeping into her bones and chilling her to the core. The river's icy embrace threatened to snuff out the warmth in her, both literally and metaphorically. The temperature plummeted around her, making it feel as if she had stepped into an ice bath. As the cold intensified, Mira's body started to react. Her teeth chattered uncontrollably, and her limbs grew heavy, as if leaden weights were attached to them. The cold was numbing her, not just physically, but mentally as well. Her thoughts, normally so clear and concise, began to cloud. The river's curse was taking hold, trying to erase her, to turn her into another lost soul. But just as the darkness threatened to engulf her completely, a surge of determination coursed through her veins. She remembered her purpose, the faces of her ailing village folk, the trust in their eyes, and the responsibility she felt as their healer. With a renewed sense of urgency, she fought against the numbing cold, battling to keep her mind sharp and focused. Mira's will to live, her burning desire to break the curse and return to her village, fueled her every stroke. She envisioned the warm smiles of the villagers, the relief in their eyes, and the gratitude in their voices. This propelled her forward, giving her the strength to keep going. As she neared the end of her journey, she saw a faint glow ahead. Hope surged through her, warming her like a beacon in the icy darkness. With a final burst of energy, she reached the other side, collapsing onto the soft grass, shivering uncontrollably. As she lay there, the cold slowly receded, replaced by a strange warmth that spread through her body. Mira opened her eyes, expecting to find herself still by the river, but instead, she found herself in a lush meadow, bathed in sunlight. Confused, she sat up and noticed a silver flower glowing softly nearby. Cautiously, she approached the flower, its glow intensifying as she drew nearer. As she reached out to touch it, a jolt of energy surged through her, bringing back a flood of memories. Her home, her parents, her childhood, all rushed back in a torrent of emotions. Relief washed over her as she realized that the river had not been able to take away the most important part of her identity. The locket had worked, containing the river's curse to her name and keeping it safe within her. But it wasn't just her memories that returned. The flower pulsed with a powerful energy, an energy that hummed with healing power. Understanding dawned on Mira. This was the cure she had been seeking, the cure for her village. With newfound strength and purpose, Mira carefully plucked the flower. Its touch sent a soothing warmth through her, reinforcing her resolve. As she made her way back, the river Styx receded into the distance, its malevolence seemingly dispelled. The air, once heavy with dread, now buzzed with life. Upon returning to the village, the sight that greeted her was heartbreaking. Many of the villagers lay ill, their faces drained of color, their breaths shallow. But with the flowers secured, Mira wasted no time. She distributed the flowers, petals, infusing each with its healing power. Mira moved swiftly, her touch gentle yet firm as she distributed the flower's essence. With each dose, a flicker of life returned to the villagers' eyes. Color returned to their pallid skin, their shallow breaths growing steadier. Mira watched over them, her heart swelling with hope as they slowly recovered. The river's curse was broken, its power over them shattered. And when the last villager stirred, opening their eyes to the familiar surroundings and the loving faces around them, Mira knew that her journey had been worth it. As the village celebrated, their voices echoing with joy and gratitude, Mira stepped forward, opening the locket. She whispered a prayer of thanks. From that day on, the locks regained its life-giving properties, and the people of the village were forever changed. They had faced their darkest fear and emerged stronger, more resilient, and most importantly, more united. And as Mira watched her people celebrate, a wide smile gracing her face, she knew that their ordeal had forged a bond that would last a lifetime. The people of the village, forever grateful to Mira and aware of the terrible price she had paid, began wearing lockets, each one a silent vow to remember the cost of forgetting. Mira, their young hero, became a symbol of courage and resilience. Her story passed down through generations to remind them never to take their memories, their identity, or their loved ones for granted. And so the tale of Mira, the brave healer who crossed the river Styx, became a legend. A beacon of hope in a world where darkness often threatened to consume all.